friends, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I filmed a video. Today is Sunday, September 15th. I cannot believe it is already the 15th of September. I'm not quite sure where the last couple of months have gone. It seems like they have flown by and I'm behind on every aspect of my life, including my stitching. Or at least Flosstube filming. I don't really have a timeline for most of my stitching. But I have a pile of things that have been accumulating and it seemed like a good time to sit down and share them with you all. It is a little rainy and overcast today in Georgia, so I have a light on. Hopefully it won't wash things out too much. But let's jump into showing you what I've been up to the last couple months. So I think my last video was right after StitchCon. Sorry, my dog is rolling around over there, so if you hear that noise, that's what that is. I started at StitchCon with my table mates, most of my table mates anyway, the 12 monthly minis from Primrose Cottage. We started on July 1st. So here is July. I'm stitching these on 32 count vintage country mocha with, this one was not the called for threads. This was overdyes that I just pulled from my stash. So that's July. Here is August. These were the called for DMC. Again on 32 count vintage country mocha. And September. These are the called for DMC as well. So I spent the last couple months traveling quite a bit for work. They were all work trips, no real fun trips. And also just being busy every weekend. In July, a lot of those weekends were spent doing stitchy stuff. I attended a few stitchy meetups, including one that I was invited to up in North Georgia. There is a woman, Deborah, who, I'm gonna get the name of her business wrong. It's Curryville Country Market, I believe is what she calls it. She has a booth at an antique shop up in Adairsville, Georgia, where she sells cross-stitch things, and her booth, what she sells is pretty unique. Like, it's not, she has a little bit of linen. I don't believe she had any threads, but she kind of, you know, she gets some unique patterns, so it was fun to go visit her booth. And she had a stitching day at a beautiful bed and breakfast up in North Georgia. And so I was lucky enough to get an invite, met some new and wonderful people who hopefully we'll get together again at another stitching meetup. But one of the people who was there was Suzanne from Sweetwing Studios, and she created a exclusive for those of us that had come up that day. And here it is. This pattern's called Curryville Welcome by Sweetwing Studio. I stitched it on a 40 count, I think, vintage country mocha with just threads from my stash. It says, "Welcome one another as Christ has welcomed you for the glory of God," Romans 15:7. So the pattern, I think she called it Curryville Welcome. There's a town in Georgia called Curryville. I haven't been there, but apparently this is the church. This is one of those stands that you can buy pre-made from Starry Night Studio. and I just plopped it on there, not very neatly, but it's finished. And a good remembrance of that really fun day that hopefully we'll get to do again. It sounds like Debbie's gonna try to do more of those meetups, and I really hope she does, because it was a good time and really sweet, wonderful people. And hopefully she's working on making space for even more people to be invited. We kind of filled up the bed and breakfast. I also had to do a work trip to Memphis that I ended up being up there 12 days. So I got a few things finished. The first was Faded Flag. This is from, well, here's the pattern. A little glare because of the light. This is from October House, Faded Flag. And here is my finish. So I think that I stitched this on a scrap of 40 count Tropical Stitches Athos with, I believe, all the called for threads. This little thing. So the red, it uses 2 different blues and 4 different reds to get kind of that faded, tattered look. So it's really pretty, but I wasn't expecting that much thread when I picked that up. What else do I have? I don't know that I showed this. I know that I showed it in my last video, but I don't know if I ever showed it like fully finished. So here it is again. This is Stitching in the Round from JBW Designs. I finished it on this salt cellar that I had picked up at Buc-ee's. If you don't know, Buc-ee's is a gas station in the southeastern United States. But really cute. I made this cording to go around it, and it's just perfect. Actually, last time I was at Buc-ee's, I picked up another one of those salt cellars. I have some ideas on some patterns that I may want to stitch for another one. I kind of think it would be a good gift at a retreat to either be your main smalls exchange or just an extra as a smalls exchange gift. I don't think that I would do quite as much stitching. I have some smaller patterns that I want to try out to see what I can fit on there. So I stitched that one 1/1 on 25 count, and it seems like for that size it's a 3x3, so you need something 3x3. I was stitching with the Housewives, might have some good ones that would fit on those. I might need to check out their patterns. I had some other ones, but their little round ones might work well. I feel like they're pretty small in size, and 3x3 might be perfect, where you wouldn't have to stitch 1/1. I'll investigate and get back to you maybe in my next video. My next thing, I am leaving on this Wednesday to go to Montgomery, Alabama for the Garon Stitchery Retreat. It's weekend 2, and so I stitched up a little smalls for the smalls exchange. Little dog. And I finished it into a wonky little drum because I'm not a very good finisher. But here it is. So this is a pattern from Summerhouse Stitchworkes. She released it last year as a kit. Charlie, go lay down. Charlie. Charlie. He's bumping my camera. Go lay down. Apparently this was not a good morning time but it came with the fabric for finishing. This is a little bittersweet charm that you put on the front. Came with everything, and also little dog, a little needle card. So this is going to be my exchange gift for the Get Round retreat, which I think is really sweet. And then I got a couple other little things. I have a fall needle minder and a little fall floss ring to go with it. So I think that'll be a really sweet little exchange gift. And I am obsessed with these needle cards. I stitched up the one for the exchange, and then I was like, well, I need one. So I made myself one too. I did buy two of the kits. From Summerhouse because I kind of knew that I wanted one to be an exchange gift and that I would want one for myself. I haven't made myself a drum yet, but that little Bittersweet stitches up pretty quickly, and so I can see myself doing one hopefully in the next few months. But again, since it was an exchange gift, there was a deadline, but there's no deadline on finishing for myself. Okay, the other things that stitching related that I have been kind of actively working on are for my local sampler guild. So I am a member of the Sampler Guild of Georgia. And if you're in the Georgia area, I highly recommend that you join and attend if you aren't already. It's a lot of fun. But there are several things that I have finished for that. So back in August, we had a special event to celebrate Blackbird designs. And as part of that day, there was a smalls exchange, and I stitched up from, I don't think I have the book. Yes, I do. Hold on. Moments of Glad Grace. This was the book that came out at Needlework Marketplace this year, I believe. This little box. So it's called Moments Button Box. So I stitched it up as part of my smalls exchange, and then I loved it so much I made one for myself. So if I have focus, here is my little button box. So I did get these paper mache boxes. I ordered them online, and I had to paint, and I put some wax sealer on it. It is paper mache. And then I just ruched some fabric around the edge. This is 40 count dirty teacup from Needle and Flax. And the called for threads on this. But I love it. I did stitch it and finish it twice, but of course the other one I've given away, so I don't have it to show you today. So my guild has also started a new thing this year where if you go to the meetings, I don't have what I won last month, but that's okay. If you go to the meetings, they're giving us little dipperies. I don't know what else to call them, but back in July, they gave us some twill tape. So here, I'll show it to you. It's this a piece of this twill tape with the challenge to use it as in a finishing. And so what I did is I stitched up, this is One Red Thread a Day by Van Stitching. She's on Instagram. I bought the pattern from her. So I stitched up this little sampler. I used a 40 count scrap of material that I had in my, I don't know why that won't focus, in my stash, and the threads right here. Pirate Robin Watermelon. I need something to block Let's see if this will work. Sorry, I didn't grab a bolt, like a whiteboard. Which is a beautiful red. And I just finished it on one of these little metal tins and put the troll tape around it. In hindsight, I would have used more of a brown fabric or tea-dyed that or something. But it's fine, it's worked. I'm in the challenge. And I won a project bag for doing the challenge, which is what I don't have to show you because I don't know where it is at the moment. But a beautiful little project bag. This month's challenge, so our meeting is actually this afternoon. And this month we were given little charms with a freebie pattern, but I didn't stitch the freebie pattern. I stitched up Elizabeth's 4 dogs from the Scarlett house. So this is on a 32 count. I believe it's a color and cotton, but I'm not sure the color. I did leave off the top portion. So there's a portion on this chart that on the top it has Elizabeth's name and the year. I decided to leave that off because I didn't really want mine to say Elizabeth, and I don't think it was really needed for this, but I just finished it as a little pillow. Here's the little charms we were to use. So I just pinned them on here. I thought about putting ribbon on here, but I don't think it really needs it. And then I finished it with this, I don't know what this fabric's called. It's the fluffy kind. That's where I did my stuffing. But I think it's really cute and I'm excited for it. And I really am liking these challenges. It's something to, a little new, stitch up a little small and use these little accessories to finish things. Next is also something I did for the Sampler Guild, but it is my journey piece. So if you've watched any of my videos in the past, this is my second year of doing journey. Last year I stitched the Blackbird design seasons, so the summer, winter, autumn piece. And journey, you commit to finishing something before October. So it starts, you sign up for it in December and you have until October to finish something, and it's your journey, so it can be whatever you want. If you want to stitch and finish a small, if you want to do just a portion of a chart, whatever you want to do. But my journey was to finish Little Robin Designs The Charming Cow Sampler, and I did it. So here she is, all finished up. So I stitched this on a 40 count tephra from Cedar River Linen using all the called for threads. So it is beautiful. And there are a bunch of, like, this whole row here is little eyelets. So I feel like I got better at doing eyelets. The one row that I almost skipped, but I'm glad I didn't, was along with this. That little red is 1/1/2 stitches all the way across the top and bottom of that band. I'm glad I didn't skip it, but it took me a while to kind of get into a rhythm and get that band done. I did substitute the initials on this one. So this band here, Scott Richardson's my husband, Jamie Richardson's me, Barley Richardson, Charlie Richardson, and Little Dog Richardson. So I customized it with my dog's initials. That's my family, so that's what I put. The bottom row says, "In love, be always true," and then I changed the date to 2024. I love this. I found this frame off of Amazon. It was just a wood frame that I painted and distressed a little bit. I don't think it's in the frame very evenly, but it's just popped in there. So I will go back and fix that a little bit. But so happy to have it done and to meet that journey challenge. Oh, sorry. I forgot one of my projects over there. I really enjoy Journey. I've been kind of thinking about what I want to work on next year for Journey, and I think it's going to be one of these whips that I'm about to show you. I just haven't decided which one. So if you see one of the whips I'm showing you today and you think that it's something that I can and should get done before next October, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. So let's get into my whips. Those are all my finishes, which it seems like there was a bunch, but they were mostly small. So Needlework Marketplace was last month, and one of the designs I had to have was from Little Robin Designs. This is slightly spooky, and I started working on it last month. I've started with this one, and here is my progress so far. So this is a piece of 40 count Winter Winds. I don't think it's an overdyed. I think it's directly from Zweigart. And I'm using the called for threads. And this is where I've gotten to this week. They stitch up relatively fast when you have time to sit down and stitch them. Charlie, hey. Okay. He's just gonna lick his paw, so yeah. Lots of background noise in this video that hopefully you guys won't hear. Okay, what else have I been working on? A little bit of everything, it seems like. This was one that I pulled out for Sampler September, so I had a lot of grand plans for Sampler September that I wanted to work on 4 or 5 new starts. I started them and then I couldn't get into a rhythm, and so I kind of changed that plan, which is perfectly fine. But I love this sampler and I do want to finish it. So this is the Pink Sparrow sampler from With a Needle and Thread. And oops. This was my start on it. Sorry, I dropped something. Hold on. I'm gonna drop everything. See if we can edit that out. Here's my start on the Pink Sparrow sampler. Dog hair on there. So this is 40 count Molly from Grace Notes Fabrics, and I believe I'm using the Vicky Clayton silks. I got the Vicky Clayton silk pack for this, and there's still dog hair on it. Okay, here we go. So not a big start, but a small start, and it was stitching up pretty quick. So this is the width. This is as wide as the whole thing's going to be. So it'll be a pretty small sampler, at least on this 40 count. So Charming Cow was one of my 24 whips in 2024. I have finished 5 of those whips so far. And I think I've decided that for 2025, I'm not going to do a new list. I'm going to just keep working on those 24 and hopefully get them finished. But I did go through, and there are a few smalls that were on my list that I think I could probably get done before the end of the year if I give them some focus. And one of those was Myrtle from Satsuma Street. This is my current progress on her. also seems to have dog hair on it. This is 32 count Astonishing from Fortnite Fabrics. And I'm using the Called For Cosmo threads. I love her. I don't know why I have such a hard time. I think I just don't have focus. Because it is a pretty small chart and it should be, you should be able to knock it out pretty quickly. But it's taken me a couple of years to get to that point. My friend Pam wanted to start Strawberry Faire back in August, and I was like, well, I have that all kitted up. I would like to start it too. So I just used the other half of this fabric. So there's Myrtle, and here's my start on Strawberry Faire. So I think that it goes like this. So I haven't gotten much done. This is just this edge border and the little hearts over to the side. So I need to get back to it, but I did start it with Pam, and I would like to get back to stitching it and using up all this fabric. One of my after StitchCon starts was another sal with Pam. This is Matter in Hand from Jeannette Douglas. I'm stitching it on a 46 count. It's a fiber on a whim, but I don't know the color, using the Vicki Clayton silk pack. And this is where I am on Matter in Hand. Not very far. This is one that is a possible journey piece. I do want to get it done before June, because I did make the wait list for StitchCon. So assuming that I get a space, hopefully all my table mates will get a space at StitchCon, and I would really like to have that done before then to take. So at the Blackbird event I had at my Sampler Guild in August, I worked on Moments of Glad Grace, the big sampler part. I'm working on the border, because this is also one that I would like to get done. I mean, I want to finish everything, but there's only so much time in the day. But here I am with the border. This is 32 or 36 count Dirty Teacup from Needle and Flax, and I'm using the Called For thread. Just done the green portion of the border. Haven't made it all the way around yet, because of course I worked on it that one day and then I put it away and haven't touched it since. One of my sampler September new starts was going to be the Goldbird sampler from Twin Peaks Primitives. I did start this, but I could not get into it. I don't know why. I think there was just a lot of color changes in the spot that I started at, and I wasn't feeling it. So I am going to get back to it. I'm not giving up on this sampler because I do love it. I think that it goes like this, but here's my measly start on one of the Goldbirds. So I'm stitching this on 40 count Spindrift from Cedar River Linen with the Called For DMC. And I love the sampler. I think I said in my last video, I've seen it stitched up a couple of times, and this photo doesn't do it justice. It's beautiful. I mean, this photo is beautiful, but seeing it in person, it's so pretty. So it'll be a long-term project, but hopefully I will get back to it. One of the other projects that was a possible finish this year, I think, was my New Year New Start. This is the Needleworker sampler from With a Needle and Thread. I'm stitching it on a 46 count. I'm not sure the fabric. And I don't know that I've touched this since my last video, but here is where I am on it. I just feel like if I focus on one or two things, I can have some more finishes this year of these things. And this is one that I do want to get done. It could also be a journey piece for next year. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm all over the place. But I love it and do want to get it done. I did start another Little Robin because it's my year of Little Robin designs. This is Straighten Your Crown, which I think was also Marketplace release this year. I'm stitching it on a 46 count blue, but I don't know the color, with the called for thread. This is as far as I got on it. It was a good little small travel piece, and I think that's what I'm gonna leave it as, is just a piece that can travel with me in my car when I need something like that to take. And finally, my focus of this week, besides the Little Robin Spooky Small that I started, has been my floral motif sampler. So the Scarlett house just released some new patterns, and one of them was the dog sampler, which I love and I really want to stitch, but I'm gonna hold off until I finish floral motif. So I haven't even bought the pattern yet, but I want to finish the floral motif sampler so that I can start the dog sampler. So what I've decided is this chart is broken up into 6 pages. And so I am trying to do a page a month. And this is the first page and where I am. So I want to do a page a month, and I want to get the border finished. So I've finished the border all the way down the left side. And then this is where I am. So I don't know what this fabric is. It's a 36 count. They cut the tags off of when I had the fabric cut down. But I am using the Vicki Clayton Silk Pack. And to be honest, when I'm stitching this, so I'm in my little Q-snap, and like I stitched this flower. I'm like, those colors are so, like, they're beautiful, but I just don't know if I like it. But then when you open it up and you see it all together, it works. And so I'm going to keep going with it and try to do a page a month. So if I do that, I should have it done in 6 months. So early of next year, it should be completed. And then I can kit up and start the dog sampler. I just have one thing here for plans. So I am going to the Get Around retreat on Wednesday, and my friend Lisa and I are gonna start Blackbird Design Strawberry Fields Forever. So I have the Vicki Clayton Silk Pack for this. I've pulled out a couple pieces of fabric. I'm leaning towards so this is Seraphim Antique Lace, a 40 count. But I'm leaning towards this one. It is from number 12 Stitch Co. Decrepit. It's also a 40 count. That looks to me an awful lot like the cover pattern. I'm also tempted to do it in more of like a pink toned fabric. Fabrics by Stephanie is supposed to be at this retreat this week, and so of course I'm going to look at her fabrics and probably buy a couple pieces, but I might find something for this for there. I might find something for this there. Words are hard when you do these videos. But I've always loved this, and when Lisa said she had it and wanted to start it, I was like, let's start it together. So, did I say I have the Vicki Clayton Silk Packs? I have the Vicki Clayton Silks for it. They're still in their pack. I haven't opened them up yet, but that's the plan for this week. Okay, haul. Do you want to see my haul? So on one of the trips that I had to take for work, I had to go to Pensacola, Florida for a meeting. And on my way home from Pensacola, I decided to do a little detour. And I made a stop at Garon's Stitchery. So not all of these in here came from Garon. There's some other things as well. Where to start? Let's start here. So this one actually came from Acorns and Threads. So, you know, you've seen this. This is an exclusive from Hands Across the Sea for Acorns and Threads. What's it called? Emmeline Purnell. I believe you can still get this. I had it kitted with 40 count. This is 40 count. Just the ticket from Tabby Cat linen. I ordered 103 silks for it. And then we were given the little what do you call that? The fabric printed piece. Sorry, I'm gonna put all these back in here. Excuse them. But she's kitted up and ready to go. I don't know when I'm gonna start her, but I felt like I needed to have it because I just loved that rose. So I also, well, okay, that's fine. I also really liked Bramble Cottage. This is a new one from Blueberry Ridge. It's going to be a series of 6. I really liked this one and I was going to buy the pattern, and then I saw on the Farmhouse Flossie's Facebook page that she was going to dye some floss and fabric for the whole series. So I got I think this is a fat quarter of, no, it's a fat half, 36 count oat milk. So this is from Farmhouse Flossie's. So it's enough to do the entire 6-part series. And she overdyed floss for that. Aren't they pretty? Lots of variegation in here. And this should be enough floss for the entire series. So I treated myself to that. There's a stack here, so we'll just go through it. Another one of my Needlework Marketplace. So I tried with Needlework Marketplace to not go overboard because I knew I was going to retreat, and they're going to have a little shop set up at the retreat. So I just bought the things that I really felt like I needed to have, and then if there's something else, I will pick it up at the retreat or later. This is Hollow's Manor from the Proper Stitcher. I love these little one color silhouettes. They look like they'll stitch up quick. At that retreat, well, it's not really a retreat. The stitch day I went to where Sweetwing Studio is, she had a trunk show. And so I picked up some of her charts. This is a golden thread. This is Let Us Adore Him and Filled with Joy. I picked up the new with the needle and thread charts. So here's Goodness Gracious, Woodland Witch, and Feels Like Fall. I said that Debbie has that little shop up in North Georgia at the Sampler. At the antique store. I picked up a few charts there. So she has this little models of this up there. This is Erica Michaels, These Three Remain. Faith, Hope, and Love. But she has them split up, so like this one is in a frame by itself. She has Hope by itself and Love by itself. They're really cute, and so I felt like I needed that. Just have a cover page. This was a little kit. It doesn't apparently have a cover page, but it's for this Trinkets and Sundries chart from, isn't this from, I have no idea. I don't know. It's a bunch of little papers that you cut out and make little frilly things with. I don't know. I felt like I needed to buy it, and now I don't know what I don't know what I need it for. And then from Samplers Not Forgotten, I had never seen this one. It's a kit for a patriotic heart. So it comes with everything. Threads, fabric, and all the little accessories to finish it. I just thought that was cute. I think that's all the stuff I got at Garon. Here are the other Needlework Marketplace charts that I got. I did pick up canine quotes from the Scarlett house. And Home is Where the Samplers Are. So I haven't picked up the dog sampler yet, but I will. I didn't want to buy it and then be tempted to start it. And then my other Needlework Marketplace purchase was from Running with Needle and Scissors, My Lady's Cording Conundrum. So I saw this when it came out as a club piece last year, and I fell in love with it, and I knew that I wanted it as soon as it came out. Well, Country Sampler was selling the club kits, so I got the fabric. This is a 40 count heirloom. Is that right? Yeah, so this is heirloom from Needle Bling Designs, a 40 count. And then all the threads are in here. Country Sampler sends it to you all neat and beautiful. And of course I had to open it up. So it's not neat and beautiful anymore. And then here is what I picked up at Garon. So I picked up a lot of thread. I kitted up some things. But then I found this fabric pattern. This is from Threadworks Primitives. This is a sentimental sampler. I just thought it was beautiful. And I went ahead and picked up the silks for it. It's only 4 colors. Really pretty. And then I got the small hands-on designs gathered together. I don't know that I'd seen this Blackbird. This is A Wish for You. And then another Blackbird. This is Little Birds, which I thought was beautiful. It was clearly in a Blackbird mood. And they had a good selection of charts there. I picked up a couple pieces of fabric. One, I don't know, I kitted it with something. But I got this 36 count color and cotton nutmeg. I don't want to take it out of the plastic. It's a really pretty, like, greenish brown. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but I like it. And then I picked up a whole bunch of threads from them. I kitted up several things that I thought I wanted to work on either the rest of this year or early next year. So that's all gone into kits. So that's what I have for you today. It's a pretty decent video. A lot of little smalls, some charts. So my plans are, I want to finish the page on floral motif. I will probably keep working on the slightly smoky smalls from Little Robin Design. I'm going to start Strawberry Fields this week, and then I don't know what after that. I do need to pack for a retreat this afternoon, so I'll figure out what I want to take to that. If I was good, I would just take those 3 things. I would just take Strawberry Fields, the floral motif, and slightly smoky. But I know me, and I'll probably end up taking 10 things and only stitching on 1, which is fine. I'm really looking forward to this retreat. I feel like I need a break from work, and this is coming at a good time. So that's what I got going. I do have to go back to Pensacola in October, but it should be a pretty quick trip. Other than that, I don't have any more travel plans for the rest of the year. I do have a couple more stitchy events with the guild and just some local events that I'm planning to attend, but those are just fun. Those are just time to get together and do a little bit of stitching and just have some fun. So nothing major. I'm gonna go take the dogs out before, if it's not raining. It's not raining yet. So that's what I got. I hope everybody's well. I hate that it takes me so long between videos, but I just get busy and life just gets busy. Everything's good in life, it's just busy. It just seems like I haven't had time to like sit down and do anything. My stack has been sitting in here on this table for a week while I try to find some time to film. So I'm glad I was able to get through that this morning. And I appreciate every single one of you that watches my channel and the new subscribers that pop in from time to time are always fun and welcome, and I'm glad that you liked my channel enough to subscribe and come back and watch me when I do post a video. So they are pretty random and just when I have time and some content to share. So that's going to be the plan moving forward. You know, it'll probably be a month or 2 before I film another one, if I'm in all honesty. But we'll see how it goes. I'm working on my plans for next year. I like what I've got going now, where I'm not really tying myself to anything. Like, I'm not giving myself super big deadlines. Like, I'd like to finish Matter in Hand before June, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I will have another journey piece because it seems, in all honesty, like, I love the Charming Cow sampler, but I did get a little, like, I don't say bored with it, but it became a little monotonous at times. And had I not, like, really wanted to finish it for Journey, it probably would have just ended up in my whip pile. So kind of having that check-in time and being like, I have to have this done by October really motivated me to get that done. So I do plan to participate in Journey again next year. Yeah, but that's really it. I just want to have fun and use my stitching as what it is. It's a comfort and you know, it gets me away from the stress of work and life. And I never want it to become a stressor. So I am going to make some plans, but they're going to be loose plans. And it's really, what I'm really thinking now is I have a bunch of series, you know, like I have all the Primrose Quakers. So, you know, like their summer Quaker and the Halloween one that just came out. I have all those. I've been accumulating them and I haven't stitched one of them. So I'm kind of thinking a goal for next year might be to stitch 3 or 4 of those. I'd like to stitch them all, but I don't know how. I don't want to tie myself to that, if that makes sense. So I'll be a little loosey-goosey and see what happens as time progresses, and just keep having fun with stitching. And I hope that you are having fun with your stitching, and that everybody's well. And I will see you again soon. Bye.